All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone for teaching us this truth. And today's lesson is entitled China versus America. And here's the video.
US and Chinese officials had a testy exchange at the first high-level meeting between the Biden administration and China. Tensions are rising between the world's two superpowers as both sides dig in on a litany of issues. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken opened the two-day meeting in Anchorage, Alaska, with a list of grievances.
We'll also discuss our deep concerns with actions by China, including in Xinjiang, Hong Kong, Taiwan, cyber attacks on the United States, economic coercion toward our allies. Each of these actions threaten the rules-based order that maintains global stability. That's why they're not merely internal matters and why we feel an obligation to raise these issues here today.
After that, the gloves were firmly off. China's top diplomat, Yang Jiechi, fired back with a 15-minute speech in Chinese, lashing out about what he said was the United States' struggling democracy and poor treatment of minorities, including the, quote, slaughtering of African Americans. Usually opening...
See, now you want to bring up the African Americans, they just bringing out everything, but now it just seems as they want to bring, spill the beans basically on Esau Edom, which they was all in league, with Esau Edom, pursuant to the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and I got that queued up. The book of Psalms, chapter 83, and at 3, it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And who is that? The hidden ones are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. So, and this is a league that the so-called Chinese and Esau Edom, or so-called white men, had always had this deal that they was going against the nation of Israel. See, that's why our people are calling themselves Negroes, African Americans. They calling themselves, we're calling ourselves Native Indians and Hispanic and Mexicans. And these are bywords. These were words, titles that your oppressor gave you. Okay? That's why the Most High tells you to repent and come back to this truth of understanding on who's your true enemy, and how to treat thy neighbor, which is your so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man. That's your next door neighbor. Not the so-called white man, Chinese or Arab and Japanese. All these people are your enemies because they made a crafty counsel together. Verse 4 says, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. See, that's the cutting off where you think that you're different. You so-called Negroes think you're different from, the Hispanic. And you Hispanics and your Native Americans think you're different from the so-called black man. You see? But we're all one nation of people. It's just 12 different tribes. And it says that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. See, they are confederate against you, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American. But you had this Moabite, saying that, talking about the slaughter of the so-called African Americans. Man, hey, why you worried about it now? You see, verse 6, it says the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, which are, the Arabs. And Edom is the so-called white man. And Moab is who? The so-called Chinese man. Okay? This guy here want to bring us in the midst of what's going on. You see? Hey, we've been struggling, man. 500 years almost. Over here in captivity. In Babylon. Babylon the Great. You see? And the Hagarenes, which are the so-called Africans And we're going to stop right there and we're going to get back to the video. We're going to try to make this short as possible.
Chinese, lashing out about what he said was the United States' struggling democracy and poor treatment of minorities, including the, quote, slaughtering of African Americans. Usually opening statements last just a few minutes, but these went on for more than an hour in front of the world's media. Yang said the US was in no position to judge.
Xinjiang, Tibet, and Taiwan are all inseparable pieces of Chinese territory. We are firmly opposed to the U.S. interfering in China's internal affairs. We express firm opposition to the U.S. actions of interfering in China's internal affairs, and we will make resolute responses to these.
State Councillor Wang Yi also chimed in.
Especially before you haven't even exchanged opinions with China, you have to just label China and coerce us. Is that the right attitude? Of course, China will not accept it.
Afterwards, both sides accused the other of violating protocols, with the Chinese diplomat saying the US had been inhospitable.
That's what it is, man. Let's get a couple more precepts and we're going to go ahead and end it. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 11, I believe it is, and 18. Oh, wrong one. I'm sorry. It's 11 and 18. It says, and the nations were angry, getting to the point, and thy wrath has come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear the name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. See, and the nations are mad, man. These nations are mad at Esau, Edom, because they're calling this an unfair a relationship, which, I don't know how they figured that Esau, Edom was going to be, straight up and down, with them and making these different relationships, but, that's how you're going to have the destruction of Esau, Edom's power structure, man, which is America. Okay, the golden cup is going to be, tarnished in the time to come. This is the book of Isaiah. Let's see. What's it? Isaiah 34 and 8. It says, for it is the day of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of his recompense for the controversy of Zion. See, that's what it's all come down to be, man. Everything that's going on is because what Zion is going through, which is talking about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Israel, So I'm going to go ahead and stop right there and give all praise and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Hey, we're closer to ending this thing, man. It's everything is, right on time concerning the prophecy or Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. And shalom to the whole elect.